Hi, this is Acme with the US stock highlights here on Share Talk for Monday, the 7th of December. Starting off with what's become a favorite, Aqua Bounty Technologies. You can see why it's become a favorite, because initially the shares hit the $6 area, which was the first target, then the $8 area, which was the second target at the end of last week, and now we've got a fresh one, which is based on this line of resistance from February through the initial March resistance and heading towards around $12.30, and hopefully that can be seen by the end of this month. With a bit of luck, they'll be seen by the end of this week, given the way things are going. In terms of the stop loss, the tightest at the moment, probably Friday's intraday high and end of day close back below $8.58 for the stock of Aqua Bounty. Next up, a stock which is not familiar to me here, Counterpath Corporation, which sounds like a cool name. Here we've got the shares gapping through that line of resistance from July, also through the 200-day moving average at $3.35. Probably the best that we can say at this stage is that while we're above the initial December resistance at $3.18 on an end-of-day close basis, we're looking for further progress to the upside, and that would probably be at least initially by the end of this month, hopefully up to $4.70, which was the initial September resistance. Ideally, there's an end-of-day close today above $3.35 and the two-day line, but obviously that is relatively difficult given that we've gapped up and come up a long way for the shares in percentage terms. Going on to the next situation, which is of bullish interest, Global Corporation. Here we're looking at what was an interesting spike that we had last month. Came back effectively to test that old resistance from June around $1.55. The low for December, $1.50. So a bit of a gift there for technicians looking for old resistance to become new support. Current situation is that while we're above the intraday high of Friday, that was at $1.66, looking for further progress on the upside, probably up towards a retest of $4.32 rather, which is the November intraday peak. And basically the Friday resistance and the late November support around the $2 area, hopefully coming in as new support on this particular rebound attempt for Global. On to a stock which I do remember covering a few days ago or a little while ago, Greenland Technologies. Here we've got the shares gapping up from one line of resistance, which was initially a target around the $5 level. That became new support, and already up to the next target for the shares at just through the $10 level. End of day close above $10.10 could open up Greenland Technologies for a fresh leg to the upside over the next 1 to 2 months, up to $14.50. At the moment, the stop loss on the bull argument back below the recent resistance, late November resistance at $7.70. So above $7.70, looking for up to $14. But ideally, we don't break much below the latest support for today's session at around the $8 area. On to a stock which is also pretty dynamic at the moment, and we'll see why in just a second. Jaguar Health, rather. And here we can see that after gapping up through the 200-day moving average, there was a partial retracement, but so far we've managed to stay at and above that line of resistance at 32 cents, which was broken from the early part of August, so above 32 cents, looking for further upside, ideally to retest the initial December resistance at 72.9 cents. So a reasonable risk reward on that situation. If you're cautious on the shares, maybe wait for an end of day close above the 200-day moving average at 45 cents before thinking of going long. Kndi Technologies is next, and one of the sort of the near-term favorites that we've had, moved very well indeed of late, I suppose in both directions. But here we've got a situation where we had the spike up towards the end of last month. Didn't quite beat that old peak from July at $17.40. got up to around the got up to around the $17 area and then came back. But we got the situation now where we bounced off the 50-day moving average, and while we're above that at $8.20 on an end-of-day close basis, looking for at least a gap fill up towards the $13.50 area, which was the gap down that we had at the end of November. Next situation is one which we had a bumper week last week, and looks like it's going to try and do the same this week as well. Luminar Technologies. The key issue here, the key level here actually, is Friday's intraday resistance at $27.85. While we're above that on an end-of-day close basis, looking as high as $50, which is a late August resistance line projection. So if you're in that situation, maybe that is what you can aim for at the moment. In fact, the Friday high is $34.44. So while we're above that, looking for as high as $50. Today's high to date up to $39.25. Onto a stock which a lot of people clearly follow at the moment, NEO, being one of the phenomena of the year, and here we have shares once again testing the floor of this rising trend channel from June. That's currently running at around $40.80. So while we're above that on an end of day close basis, still looking for $70 at the top of this year's price channel, and any dips towards the $40.80 area currently regarded as a technical dip to buy into. Moving swiftly along in today's rather lengthy session, Obln Therapeutics. Here we've had nice breakthrough that neckline resistance there at $1.65, and while we're above that on an end of day close basis, looking for as high as $5 over the next 1 to 2 months, $5 being the January line of resistance, and that basically taking the shares back to where they were in the summer of 2019. But everything hinging really on the stock holding that $1.65 area, if you can take that risk reward. Pltr is next, and here good to see that shares recovering from their recent rather unhelpful downgrade that there was. Shares bouncing off the floor of the rising trend channel, it's a bit like a NEO chart, this one at the moment. And currently the floor of the channel running around $22.20, above the Friday low of $23.51. We're looking for further progress on the upside, hopefully up to $36, which is the top of the September rising trend channel. So above $23.50, looking for as high as 36 on Pltr. Finishing off with a stock which has been featured here a few times and has always managed to behave itself well. We have Platinum Group Metals, which has broken that line of resistance from January. That was running through the around the $3.45 level. Above that on an end of day close basis, we're looking towards the final target probably or possibly of this latest rally up towards the $5.70 area, and that could be seen as soon as the end of January, but hopefully holding that $3.45 area in the meantime. That's it for me today. More updates tomorrow.